What's going on, y'all? This is Exposure Runs. I'm your host, Mustafa. We down here at the Future All-Star Classic event. This is the 9th year of Charles and Kiwane hosting this event, Coach McDaniel as well. And we're going to be down here bringing you live coverage of the players, parents, coaches, and the organizers, of course. We are at Wendell Phillips High School, the state two-way champions. They just won the championship just last week, or was it 2 weeks ago?
Was it last week?
It was last week. Just last week they won the championship. They had their pep rally just the other day to celebrate the championship, and we down here supporting them. You see it. We're in the office. Shout out to Wendell Phillips. Shout out to Coach Paris Martin letting us borrow his office to showcase their class 2024 Class 2A Boys Basketball Championship. That's big. Like I said, we're gonna be bringing you interviews. We're gonna be bringing you highlights. As you can see, we have become the go-to when it comes to these type of events, and we are happy to provide exposure for all of the high school athletes in the Chicagoland area, pretty soon in the nation. So stay tuned for some interviews. All right, y'all, welcome to another episode of Exposure Runs, the podcast. We still down here at the Future All-Star Classic at Wendell Phillips High School. As you can see, Class 2A 2014 Illinois State champs. But in lieu of that, we are down here. I'm going to have you say your name, what grade you in, and what school you attend.
I'm Jordyn Ellis. I'm in 8th grade, and I go to South Loop Elementary.
Okay. What does it feel like being selected for this Future All-Star Classic?
I feel good. It's made me feel special.
Okay. You were selected and considered one of the best 8th graders in the entire state. Can you talk a little bit about having that title as one of the best? What that mean to you?
I think it's pretty good, but I don't think too much of it because I don't want to get too full of myself about it. So I just consider myself as any other person.
Have you selected a high school where you're attending yet?
I'm in between.
In between? All right. What are the options on the table?
Kiwane and Wendell.
Those are not bad options at all. We happen to know both those coaches personally, so if you need us to make a phone call on your behalf, then we got you. All right, cool. This game that you guys just had, you guys pulled out the win, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes? No, y'all lost?
No.
Okay. I did see you out there giving out some buckets. How did it feel being out there on the court playing against some of your peers?
It was fun. It was definitely a learning experience. I got to know some new people, which was good.
Okay. Your mom and dad is here. They are in the stands. Talk about your family, what they mean to you.
My family mean a lot to me, especially that they came here this early in the morning.
Right.
But yeah.
You said you're selecting between two high schools. What about those high schools, when you select one, are you most looking forward to going to? As far as what are you looking forward to as far as high school goes overall?
Can you explain a little bit more?
As far as what are you looking forward to in terms of when you go to high school? What about high school are you looking forward to?
Getting to know my team. I already know some of the people, but I want to get to know them more because I see when they play like a family, and I want to be in that too. Okay.
Do you have a favorite WNBA player?
Sabrina.
It's not a bad one. Do you have a favorite NBA player?
I have to LeBron.
Okay, all right. Can you talk about a little bit, I'm not sure if you know about our platform, the Exposure Runs platform, but we are geared towards giving the Illinois athlete a voice, unfiltered, no fluff. Talk about what these type of platforms mean to the basketball players of Illinois, female and male.
I feel like it's great because a lot of people don't come from the best backgrounds, so you get to give them a little bit more exposure.
Yep, exactly. That's a perfect word. Perfect word. Lastly, before you go, can you look into the camera and give yourself a future message? What you want to say to yourself?
Keep working. Stay positive.
All right, cool. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. I am with, give me your name, your grade, and the school you attend.
My name is Athena, Triner, and I'm in 8th grade, and I go to Yorkville Middle School.
You just won the MVP of the Future All-Star Classic. Talk a little bit about that. How does it feel to be selected as the MVP of the game?
It felt pretty good to know that I was able to play at that level and play high enough with a few shots, but with all the really good girls there, it felt pretty good to get MVP.
What does it feel like? What does it mean to you to be selected to an event like this?
It felt pretty good because especially for people to get selected, it felt that I was able to play to a higher level, and then that other people are able to see me play, so then I was able to play well enough.
So this type of event, being in its 9th year, usually selects the best teams or the best players in the state. You obviously are considered one of the best players in the state in 8th grade. Talk a little bit about that title. What does that mean to you?
That means like it felt like pretty good, because now that I know that as a kid, I've always wanted to play like at this higher level and be able to be at this top part. And I've always been working for like these off days and going to training. And if now I'm able to put myself out there and show what I can do.
Do you have a high school that you're already considering for next year?
No, not yet.
No options, nothing on the table yet?
Yeah, not yet.
So high schools, she open for business here, all right? So what are you most looking forward to as it relates to going to high school? What you most looking forward to?
I'm excited to play like high school, because I know how big high school can be for basketball. And then all these high school games I've been going to and seeing all the girls play well enough. And now that I'm able to next year be able to play on that court, and I'll be able to show off what I can do with some of the best girls in the state too.
Do you have a favorite WNBA player?
Not right now, no. I like a lot, but I like.
Okay. Do you have a favorite NBA player?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I like Curry and all of them, but not really a favorite.
Not a favorite? Okay, cool. Can you talk a little bit about your family, what they mean to you overall? Like, how do they support you as a player?
My mom and dad, they really support me. Like, there have been days where I didn't want to practice, and they've told me, hey, you need to get out there if you want to commit to your dreams. And they've helped bring me to these big events and to all these camps and practices and all these tournaments. So they've been a really big help, and my siblings have supported me through everything. So I feel pretty good to have them by my side.
Okay. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Exposure Ones platform, but what we try to do is provide just no fluff, giving the athlete the opportunity to kind of speak for themselves, to showcase them. Can you talk a little bit about these type of platforms and what they mean to the athlete of Illinois and just in general?
Yeah, they're pretty good. I've seen a lot of them, and to know that I'm able to speak what I've done, and I see all these really good girls getting to talk about what they've done, and it's like really big and really cool to see them talk too.
Appreciate it. Lastly, before you go, can you just look in the camera and give yourself a future message? What you want to tell yourself?
To keep working and never give off on the off days. And keep
Appreciate
going.
you stopping by. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. All right, guys, we back down here at Wendell Phillips High School for the Future All-Star Classic event. I'm Mustafa, host of Exposure Runs. We have here, say your name, your school you attend, and the grade you in.
My name is Kamryn Porter. I go to De La Salle. And what else?
What grade you in?
Oh, I'm a senior.
You're a senior?
Yes.
So this is your last year coming out of high school?
Yes, sir.
You picked a college yet?
Yeah, Post University in Connecticut.
Okay. What made you decide that school?
The coach was great. She was very welcoming. The campus was small, so I feel like it's a good environment to grow in.
And Connecticut is on the East Coast.
Yes, sir.
You ready for that? That's that weather change, that time difference?
Yeah.
You gonna be all right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. How does it feel being selected for the Future All-Star Classic event? Events like this for the athletes.
I mean, it feels great. I feel like I finally get to be recognized for the things I've been doing on the court, off the court. I feel like it's a good event to let everybody come in and showcase their talents.
This is the 9th year for this event. They usually select, some of the top high school boys and girl athletes. Hearing that title, one of the top athletes, what does that mean to you?
I mean, I feel like it's truly an honor, and I'm blessed by God to be able to be in this position to play with the top players in high school in Chicago.
As you are preparing and getting ready to go to college, what are you most looking forward to when you get to campus?
Definitely making my name known and showing them that I'm here for a reason and that I'm a ball out.
You expecting to get on the court your freshman year?
Yes, sir.
What's your plans to show the coaches that you should be on the floor?
Definitely doing all the things that they don't talk about, hustling always, defense 100%, and being a good leader on and off the court.
Who's your favorite WNBA player, if you have one?
Probably Candace Parker, but I like a lot of the guards that go unnoticed.
I'm noticing nobody is saying my boo yet, but I ain't gonna trip. I'm not gonna trip. I haven't shouted her out. Elizabeth Cambridge, hey baby. Hey, that's my booski. Do you have a favorite NBA player?
Definitely Kyrie Irving.
Okay. Coming up last, as far as the Exposure Runs platform, I don't know if you know anything about our platform. If you do, can you speak a little bit about what this platform means to the high school athlete?
I mean, it's definitely one of those things where if you get on exposure runs, you're definitely going to get exposed. They do a fantastic job of putting your name out there and showing people that you can hoop and you're out here for a reason.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Can you talk a little bit about your family, what they mean to Mom? I saw your mom out there. Obviously, I always get permission before I talk to any youngster. Talk about your family, what they mean to you.
They're definitely my main motivators. I feel like I can do anything with them behind me, and I feel like they're great motivators. They always push me to do my best, and they're 100% behind me no matter what.
Lastly, I want you to look into the camera and give yourself a future message.
Stay hooping no matter what, even if it gets hard. Keep your mind into it. Stay humble.
Appreciate you stopping by. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys, again, we are back down here at Wendell Phillips High School, home of the Class 2A state champs. We are at the Future All-Star Classic event. I'm here with Xamiya Walton out of Butler Prep. Are you a senior?
Yes, I'm a senior.
Oh, so you about to fly the coop?
Yes.
You picked the school yet?
Yes, I'm going to Northwestern University on a scholarship. Yep.
For I don't know why I asked that stupid ass question because I knew that. We had this conversation already.
Yep.
You might not have known, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right, that's fine. That's fine. I'm going to Northwestern. So you're going to stay home, Dad get a chance to come down there, go live while he in the stands and all that? All right, cool.
Yes.
You just won the MVP of this event. Talk a little bit about the game. Talk a little bit about you winning the MVP trophy.
It was definitely pretty competitive, especially in the beginning. I think the teams were evenly matched, but it's about coming out and having fun. A couple of my teammates, people that I played with, like in high school and AAU and stuff. So that was pretty cool. Seeing people that I usually don't play against, people from the suburbs and stuff like that. So it was a lot of fun. Just went out there and had fun and made sure to make it interesting for the fans.
You are definitely considered one of the top athletes, female athletes in general in the state. So it's no surprise that you were selected for this event, but can you just talk a little bit about what that means being considered, that title as a top athlete in the state of Illinois? I
definitely think it's a big thing, and it's a blessing, definitely, because it is a lot of us that play sports, and not everybody is recognized. So I definitely love that all my hard work is paying off, and it's visible to everybody else. Yeah.
You get ready to leave Dad. He's been coaching you pretty much your entire career, like damn near your life.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about just how different that's going to be, not hearing his voice coaching you as you move forward in the next phase of your career?
I definitely think since he's been there for so long, it is going to be different, definitely. But, he jokes like, oh, I'm going to be a college coach. And I just be like, That's all you need. Yes, so I'm like, okay. But it's definitely a blessing because most people don't get to play for their parents, especially as long as I did. And I definitely wouldn't be the player I am or where I am now without him.
Segueing right into, just talk a little bit about your dad, your family as a whole, what they mean to you as a student athlete.
My family definitely means the world to me. I grew up homeschooled, so I was focusing more on being with my family and really getting better as an athlete. So speed training. I was in the gym morning to night, definitely with the flexible schedule. So I definitely wouldn't be where I am without my mom, my dad, and my sisters helping me push to be better and me helping them.
I know you know a little bit about the Exposure Runs platform. Can you talk a little bit about it, what it means to the athlete, just the high school athlete at Illinois?
I definitely think it means a lot because y'all are giving us exposure that not everybody does. Most people try to only focus on elementary and college. So I definitely think that's important, giving us a platform to talk and media training and stuff like that. So it's definitely a blessing to have opportunities like this.
No, we appreciate that. Before you go, of course, I want you to give yourself a future message. You ready to go off to Northwestern, which is literally down the road, but still, give yourself a future message.
I definitely say go in there and be a dog. Do whatever you need to do to make sure you get playing time and help your team win. And definitely be on the Dean's list for sure.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Now, Xamiya, we appreciate you stopping by. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
All right, guys, we back here at Wendell Phillips High School down at the Future All-Star Classic event. I'm here with the MVP of the high school game, CJ Worsham of Christ the King, correct?
Correct.
All right, cool. Tell us a little bit about that game. Won the MVP. Talk about it.
I mean, it was fun. At first, we started off down, but we was in the huddle. Coach got on us about playing hard. I was kind of lackadaisical coming out, so he told me to ramp it up. So, and then, that's when I had to get in the bag, start scoring. But overall, it's just always fun to be able to get with all the rest of the guys because, we got 100 different players out there. We got state champions. We got first team all-staters, second team all-staters, Christmas tournament MVPs, Thanksgiving tournament MVPs. So it's always fun to get back with my guys, especially because I know everybody. So it was a great event to be in.
No, I'm actually glad you segued right into what does it mean being considered among the best of the state when y'all playing in these type of events? You named the first team. You got a state champion out there. Thanksgiving or Christmas tournament MVP. Talk about playing with those guys.
First of all, being among the best players in the city, I feel like it's something I deserved for a long time. I had to work from it from my freshman to my senior year because really coming into high school, I wasn't known like that. Freshman and sophomore year, I wasn't really known. Last year, I got my name out there a little bit. Then summertime, I started playing with the Denard Bros. Everybody started coming into it. I got first team All-State last year. So it's like, it's always a good feeling to be considered as one of the best in the state. Definitely been out there with all my guys who've been top tier since, I wouldn't say like, not even to mention nobody, but Gianni Cobb, G been good since he was like 5th grade. I mean, he had the recognition always, so it definitely feel good to be on the floor with some of my guys that had the recognition since we were smaller, because it's definitely well deserved, in my opinion.
The one thing I will say about the players here, even though y'all are very competitive on the court, off the court, y'all all get along very well. Can you speak to a little bit about those friendships that you guys have forged over the years?
These friendships go back to 4th, 5th grade. So it's always like, I mean, like, of course, in between the lines, there's no friends in between the lines, because at the end of the day, everybody want to win. Everybody want to come out on top. Everybody want one of these. Everybody want the W. But like off the court, it's always been easy to be friends because everybody cool, calm. Everybody just know each other. And whenever we get together, I mean, it's just always fun. We sit back, we talk, we go out sometimes, have fun. So it's definitely, I mean, just easy. I mean, it's just been something that's been around, like I said, since like 4th, 5th grade. So what that's like, 11, 12 years?
Yeah,
been a long time.
Talk a little bit about the people on the outside of the Chicago basketball culture, people who are not from here, people like myself who's an outsider. Like, what does that culture mean when you hear about Chicago basketball?
Chicago basketball to me, from the way I live, you can see it in the way I play. Not even just the two-mile horn, but it's just toughness here. Like, it's just flat out tough. We produce, I mean, like everybody knows Chicago is known for producing tough guards. Like everybody who came out of Chicago that went to the league, they tough. Like D-Rose, tough guard. I could go down the list. I don't even want to do that. I go down the list. It's a list, but everybody is tough. Everybody play physical, and it's a different type of hunger when you come from here. Because a lot of people, I know a lot of kids, but it's the only thing they know. They might not have nothing else outside of this, so it's definitely like you just treat it like it's the only thing you know. And it's just really, like I said before, it's really all about being tough. That's what it's really about.
Talk to the shorties. Some of the shorties that are from Chicago, they're coming up. Like, what type of work should they be putting in to get that title of, like a dog that's coming out of Chicago?
You just got to work nonstop. I mean, that's what I did, especially now, because it was like, you see, from my build, from my freshman year, I was like 306. I'm 215 right now. You just got to work hard. Like a 100-pound weight loss journey. Like a lot of people don't know that though. You just gotta work hard. It ain't always about the critics and the bloggers and all the scouts and reporters. Like it come as you go on. The work gonna show itself. Like I'm living proof of that. Like I promise you, everybody I know who worked hard and then I got good now, the work shows. Like it's like hard work. Hard work be talent when talent don't work hard. I can say that. Like literally.
We have recently invited you to our Unsigned Senior Showcase that's coming up on March the 30th. We got some college coaches coming out. What can they expect to see from you at this event?
It's a different type of flow from the All-Star game. Ain't no lackadaisical coming out from the start. Everybody getting it from the jump. Everybody getting it from the jump. I'm coming out, I'm playing D, I'm facilitating, I'm just playing my overall game. The same player that everybody know me as. The same point forward y'all recruiting, y'all gonna see. I'm live and in the flesh when I get to the showcase.
I love to hear that. I know you know a little bit about our platform. Can you talk a little bit about what the Exposure Runs platform means to the high school athlete?
To a high school athlete, Exposure Run. So what I can say is, shout out my boy Chris Hills from Walton Christian. We tried to get Chris over at our school, but it was more so of a like, Chris wanted to make his own name, to be honest. And I appreciate you for 100% bringing Chris on the show, letting everybody know who he is. Like, I mean, there was a lot of people that know who Chris was to this year. Chris got first team All-State too. It was just, it's just like, it's a real big help, especially for all the unknown kids like Damian Bowden Jr. That's my best friend. That's my right-hand man. So that's my best
episode drop on Monday.
Yeah, that's my best friend, my right-hand man. So I'm glad that y'all got out of there, because it's like, look, in my opinion, I don't knock nobody, but I feel like DJ like top 5 guards in the state. The kid can flat out play, like defensive and offensive, and you see how skilled he is offensively. He another kid, like he another one of the underdogs. He started off not playing freshman and sophomore year at DePaul, got over the Westinghouse. Got over the Westinghouse. He came, he scored 1,000 points in 2 years. That just goes to show. You give a kid any type of chance that's skilled and talented to showcase his game, he's gonna do it. That's the same thing I did. That's why freshman and sophomore year, everybody kept telling me to transfer at my school. I'm like, nah, because you see my team is good this year. I led my team 30-5. 30-5, regional championship, first time in like 7-8 years since anybody been there. I mean, it took 3 years to get that regional, but I got it. So 100%, like it's probably one of the biggest helps. And when I say biggest, the biggest for all the unknown kids, some of the known kids, to be able to get their announcements out there and everything they doing. So it's 100% a huge help.
Talk about your family, man. What does your family mean to you? How do they support you? How do they motivate you?
I mean, look, family is everything to me. Especially my mother and my father. That's my rock. That's my way of getting out of bed every single morning. My auntie too. I can never forget my auntie. Shout out my auntie for being with me all 18 years of my life, always being there for me. Rest in peace to my grandma. That was my rock. That's really who I do this for. Because it didn't matter what it was, no matter where I had to go, how far the tournament was, how far practice was, how long it was, she was always there. She was going to make sure I remember we started our 6 a.m. workouts. Granny was waking me up at 5 a.m.
Granny, that old school work.
Granny, it's the work ethic.
Yeah.
And that's who instilled that in me. Because that was another thing. That's another thing with Granny. Granny never needed a man for nothing. Granny was tough, and that's where I get all my toughness from. So my family is 100% everything to me. They're my people. They're my people. They believed in me, and not even just my immediate family. My family over at Christ the King. Shout out all my Christ the King people. That's my family. From my staff to my coaches to my friends to my teammates to random people in the building. They family. That family what drive me every day. They get me up in the morning, go and work hard and still get better like I've been doing.
That's good stuff, man. Lastly, before you go, man, look at the camera, give yourself a future message. What you want to tell CJ in the future?
It's going to pay off soon, real soon, sooner than you think now. It's going to pay off real soon. We're going to be in the pros soon. A lot of people might not think you're going to do it, but you're going to do it, kid. Let's go.
Short and sweet, man. I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you very much. All right, guys, we are still down here at the 9th Annual Future All-Star Classic event. I'm here with one of the event organizers, Kiwane, Garris. Welcome to the show, sir.
I appreciate it, man.
Tell us a little bit about what your role is as it relates to the Future All-Star Classic.
Okay, so I run an organization called Future Superstars. And so I'm the founder and the director of doing the events and stuff around the Chicagoland area.
And this is you guys' 9th year doing this event, correct?
Yes, sir. 9th year doing it. We started from doing 8th grade boys and girls to now we're doing high school girls, high school boys, and still doing 8th grade.
What goes into, how do you select the players for this event? I mean, Chicago has an enriched pool of talent. How do you guys select your talent?
So we have a group of guys that go to certain events, and so we ask them who are the best players, who do you think should be in the All-Star game, or sometimes we'll wait for the seniors, the high school senior girls and boys. We'll wait to who's all city, all state. We already have who we think gonna be there, but then once we see that, we try to pick those first, and then sometimes it'd be when I was on social media, they was these are the snubs. And so I was like, okay, well,
let me go after
let's
them.
go after those guys, because
That's real.
that's somebody got an eye for talent.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people here in Chicago that sees it. So they trust us with giving us that information, and we trust them, and then that's how everything goes.
So this being your 9th year, I'm sure you guys have something, or at least will try to have something big for the 10th year. Any idea or any plans? I know we're a year out, but obviously being proactive and planning, what's on the mind for the 10th year?
Man, we trying to make it big, man. I want to do something different. So with the help of Coach Tabb, we just got to put something together that's gonna be eventful for everybody and big. So it might be them big old balloons where the kids come jumping and playing, and giving them something to do as well.
Right.
So we trying to think of something big, but we got a lot of hands on, because we are the type of guys that say, if you got a good idea, let's see what it's about and run with it and see does it fit with what we're trying to do, and then we go from there.
How does it feel having legends like Coach Rob Smith in the building, the media, the photography, the videography, getting some of the content for these younger girls and guys, and then obviously the high school girls and guys? What does it mean having that type of support from the basketball community?
Oh man, it's huge. And everybody talk about Chicago and how everybody snake each other and stuff like that. But if you planted good seeds growing up here, it just grows and comes right back to you. So just having, legendary coaches coming here like Coach Smith. I knew him when I was playing at the IIT and the Pro-Am, so he was coming to see me play, you know what I mean? He was older than me, so just seeing that, and then, all the cameras and stuff like that, the kids love that, so you gotta have that in the building.
We in that social media era.
Yeah. And then, exposure runs.
Oh, we gonna get to that. We gonna get to that.
You gotta get to them.
We gonna get to that. That's one of my questions for sure.
But that's what it's all about, man. Trying to work with other people and build something big for the community.
What made you start the event? Like, what went into the thought process that went from brain to paper to inception? Like, what went into that?
Just being a all city, all state high school player here, going to the University of Illinois, playing in the NBA, going overseas. I wanted to give something back that was different. I wanted to give something back, not just doing basketball camps and stuff like that, but mentoring and trying to see what Chicago was missing, and that's what came about with the Future Superstars All-Star class.
You guys, the MVP Trophy. You just named it after a player. Can you talk a little bit about the MVP Trophy, the naming of the player that you guys named it after? Talk a little bit about that.
So we named the girls' trophy after Dee Rainey. She went to Marshall High School. She was a all-state, all-city player, won state championship. Senseless violence, got killed. Jamarcus Ellis went to my alma mater, Westinghouse, and he died in a car accident. And so, and then, this next one is Courtney Hargraves, one of my good friends, and he also died in a car accident. So we just, these people was close to us, and we just felt it was right to name these MVP trophies after them.
Shout out to them. Shout out to their families. May they rest in peace. I know I'm sure it feels good being able to give back to the community, but give back in that way when you are honoring people that you have relationships with, people that you may not have had relationships with, but that meant so much to the basketball culture of this city. Being an outsider, I recognize, even with my platform, is that culture of Chicago basketball culture, it means something.
Yes.
It means something. So to be welcomed into that culture means a lot to me, because I know. Talk about this gym. I mean, we are in the home of the Class 2A state champs. Shout out to Coach Parrish. Shout out to the Wildcats of Wendell Phillips. Talk about being in this gym, what it meant to be able to select this gym, what went into that process.
Oh man, the gym process is crazy. Hey, if you ain't never put an event together, it'd be so crazy, because you think you got one gym, and then something happen, then you gotta go to another gym. You think that you got that gym, then it's just now you scattering trying to find gyms. And so it's like
we about to be on the blacktop.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So you was like, man, I'm thinking like, shoot, we might have to bring this back outside and go old school.
Right.
But the thing is, man, again, going back to knowing people, growing up, planting that seed. We knew people over here at Phillips, AD and the coaching staff and everybody, and we didn't even know at the time they were gonna win that state championship.
It just worked out that way.
and it worked out. So I heard it was a new gym, and it was like, all right, that might be perfect for us to do it over there. And then, shoot, like you said, them being state championship, a state championship team. What more can you ask for?
I mean, it's a perfect backdrop.
Yeah.
Perfect backdrop. You mentioned earlier when we talked about, the media and stuff, just kind of talking about the Exposure Runs platform, you kind of segue into that. Can you talk a little bit about the platform? What made you guys reach out to have us down, which we are thoroughly appreciative of. But just kind of talk a little bit about what you know about our platform and why you decided to invite us down.
Well, I knew about the platform. I've been watching y'all for a couple of years now because I'm in Georgia, so I live in Georgia. So being from Chicago, I always want to, try to keep up and see who's doing what, who's hot, who's doing everything in the city. So I won't bump into what they trying to do, and maybe we can get together. Right. So Coach Tabb ended up calling me, but before he called me, I had already talked to Dan Cross. Cause I know Dan Cross from playing. You see what I'm saying? So I gotta send a shout out to Dan, cause that's my guy.
Illinois
he was and then he was calling me, not just seeing it on his site and stuff, but when he called me, he was calling about my son and they high school team and them coming to play in the tournament.
Got you.
So when I seen that, I was like, let me see who Dan got. Sponsors, who got here, and I said, oh shoot, we gotta go exposure run. So then when Coach Tabb called me,
it's like I
was like, oh okay, yeah, let's go with them then. Let's roll with them.
That's how those signs work.
Hey, let's roll with them. They big, for me, big time, right? So we think big time. We gotta get together, collab with big time people, like-minded people. And that's how this works.
We definitely appreciate that, man. We are definitely trying our best to make sure we are tapping into the entire state. The goal this year is to get further down south, further up north, to tap into with some of them teams. But we have been embraced by the schools, the players, the coaches, the parents. I had a parent walk up to me like, man, I know you full for your upcoming event, but if there's any way you can get like stuff like that really makes me feel good. The interesting thing about it is, and Bo, our producer, shout out to AGM Plus, he'll tell you like a lot of times it's not so much that I don't think it or feel it. I'm the glass half empty guy.
Okay.
As a Sagittarius, that's my like. And Bo's like, man, I'm trying to tell you the people love us. I'm like, okay, but then when we're out and they show love, just to give you an example, last year I took my sons to Monster Trucks. We're in line getting lemonade. And this guy taps me on the shoulder, and I'm a guy like in public. If I don't know somebody, I don't like to be touched. Yeah. So I turned around with that Philly like, and he was like, "Man, I just want to let you know, man, I really love your platform." Another parent told me over there, so that does feel good to be recognized that we are a part of that culture. And I'm out both from here. And I'm an outsider, so I'm kind of like, I feel good to be kind of like the not the homegrown son, but the adopted love son. Oh yeah. Because most adopted children don't really love.
You're gonna be exactly. You're going down. It's going down.
I'll take it. Can you just talk a little bit as it relates to our platform, what it means to the high school athlete? Like, how do you think these guys really receive our platform, and do you think it's good for them?
I think it's great. What y'all do for them, for the athlete, because they need all the exposure they can get. And what they're doing now with all the platforms and stuff like that, y'all coming in and doing what y'all do with the high school, the college stuff, all that, these kids see it. So when they see that, they also want to be part of that and want to be, that's exposure run. I'm about to go ahead and get it in so they can go
get us on there.
You know what I'm saying? So it's the benefits of having what y'all have to give to these kids, and then they also giving it back because you shooting them and they got the good highlights.
They retweeting.
They get
historian.
So it's all about that side of it now. That's what it is now. That's what they love.
Part of our platform, not even part of our platform, is really about bridging that gap. Because as you know, being from here, Chicago, with everything, basketball, it's a very political town. It's very segregated, and so I feel like as an outsider. And just being a community person from my background with my family, it's funny because I'm texting with my family now, and we get ready to have it's Ramadan right now, so we do what's called an iftar, which we feed the community, and we do that in honor of my father who passed away. So we're planning that now. But anyway, my point is that we're trying to bridge that gap and not have to fall in line with, oh, you can't do this over here, you can't do that over here. It's like, while they bickering and fighting over there, we just kind of slide right on in and try to bring everybody in. And even from the media people, we bring in the media people, we pay them to come out to get some of the content. We want them at our events. This month coming up, we're going to have photography and videography appreciation, content creator appreciation month. All them guys that are, now we ain't gonna get everybody, but the goal is to get as many of them in the studio as possible to let them tell their story and just kind of introduce them to the basketball world. So we want to make sure that we tap in with everything that has to do with Chicago culture, basketball, coaches, players, parents, all of that. So that's the goal. Before I let you go, can you look into the camera and we do this with all the kids and give yourself a future message? What you want to tell yourself?
Oh man, future message. Let's see. I can continue doing this for another 10 years. This will be great.
Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for having us.
Appreciate y'all having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, we back down here with Auntie TT. What y'all call it? TT? That what y'all say in Illinois? TT? Yeah, TT. Yeah, we don't say TT in Philly, but we down here with TT, Coach McDaniel's, down at the Future Stars All-Star Classic. Assistant coach over at Hyde Park High School.
Yes, sir.
Mother to our big little sister, Brianna McDaniel, about to bust some people's ass in the tournament coming up. What's going on, Bree-ski? You got Mama McDaniel in the building. Hi, Mom. How are you?
What's up? How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for stopping by. I definitely wanted to make sure I tapped in with all of the organizers of this event. Can you just talk a little bit about your role with organizing this event?
So just a few years back when Bree was in 8th and Shay was a senior, they both participated in the event. Tabb and I talked about, growing the game of girls basketball and just getting more opportunities for the girls to be seen. And so he brought me on to help coordinate the girls side of the Future Superstars All-Star event. And it's been a good one ever since.
Yeah, it's been 9 years now. Y'all up on 9 years. You talked about Bree, your other daughter, being a part of the event. You have, now that your daughters are, Bree is in school, your other daughters are out of school, you have become like the ambassador almost for the girls' game, even though you coach at one high school. Like, I don't know if you realize that or not, but
I told her that when we just saw that.
Oh, okay. You may not realize that or not. Like, you are like the go-to person. Like, right now for me, like, all right, let me just say for me, when I think about the girls' game and as I'm learning more, I think about you and I think about Barry Bradford. From over at an example. Now, because of you, I've gotten a chance to know your head coach, Corey. I've gotten a chance to meet Andre. I've gotten a chance to meet Chrissy. And from there, we are expanding to knowing some of the other coaches that may not be as high profile as those coaches as you are. But just talk a little bit about the girls' game, how much it needs, more inclusion, more exposure, if you will.
Well, what I noticed over time in the city of Chicago, and I played in high school in Chicago back then, we had our all-area teams, we had our all-city teams, and we had, much more exposure where even just the scores were put out there on a day-to-day basis for games. At a certain point when my older daughter Shay was in high school at Kenwood, that kind of started to fall off.
Interesting.
And that bothered me because the boys still continued to get exposure, but the girls, it just became null and void, as if they weren't important. But these girls, they're in the gym working hard, they're in the gym growing their game, they're supporting each other through their relationships through AAU and everything. So to almost forget that they're even there is, a travesty. It's just, it was frustrating to watch.
That's interesting that you say that back when you played, the game was a little more popular, if you will, or had a little more exposure. And you would think that with the growth of social media that the game would come more, but you're saying it's trickled off.
Well, it trickled off definitely for the newspapers. At a certain point, the Sun-Times wasn't covering girls basketball anymore. The Tribune doesn't cover girls basketball anymore. I think the Sun-Times has kind of picked it up a little more with Kyle coming around.
Shout out to Kyle.
Yep, Kyle comes around for some of the girls' game, but that just happened in like the last couple years. So there was actually a significant drop-off for media coverage in the city of Chicago. You would see the all-area teams from the suburbs, from the south suburbs, the west suburbs, their player of the year and all of that stuff, and they had different articles out there. But the girls in the city, it was radio silent. And I just didn't understand how that happened, especially with us having so much talent in the city of Chicago.
It's a lot of talent. I mean, just with your team alone, obviously we mentioned Andre, we mentioned Coach Chrissy, but you guys have just speaking specifically about Hyde Park, you have some fantastic players. I've come to a couple of your games, obviously Xamiya, I mean, how do we grow the game for the females? The males game is thriving. The males game is thriving.
Yeah.
What can we do? And when I say we, I mean specifically us at Exposure One. What can we do to help grow that game a little bit more, to continue shining light on the young ladies?
I think it's just, we have to make more of a conscious effort. With boys, it just kind of unilaterally happens, it's no effort for it. But with girls, you have to actually make the effort to know where their games are, what are the big tournaments, and who you could go see. And then even being honest, even sometimes, we talk about the Whitney Youngs and the Kim Woods, but sometimes it's going to those smaller schools like Hyde Park, like Westinghouse, like Tabb, going to these schools where they're not necessarily known for being the top team in the city, but there's talents, there's pockets of talent here and there throughout the entire city. And a lot of times they don't get any coverage and no one even knows who they are. So that's why I really need help. It's funny because being a mom, being a teacher, still following my kids, because although Shay doesn't play anymore, she's been the GA at SIU women's basketball. Bree is at Maryland, so I follow them, but I've been trying to keep things up on Twitter under the Her Shot Culture handle. So I try to promote different things that are going on with the girls that are currently playing through Her Shot Culture, and I even try to pull back, some of those kids that are playing in college, like Marist has Sydney Afalter playing at Iowa.
She's from Marist. You
yeah,
mentioned
from
Marist.
Marist. Jenna Badali is playing at Lewis, and she just had 1,000 points. So just trying to make sure that kids who aren't even the high-profile kid still get some love from the city, and the kids who are here in the city get some love, because it's always just a Whitney Young or a Kenwood, and that's not a bad thing, because those are great teams and those are great coaches, but there are also other teams, that people don't really pay as much attention to, like us at Hyde Park. Corey has been coaching for a long time. We've been together coaching for about 15 years. He, was downstate. We were downstate with North Lawndale. There's a lot of great stories with coaches and kids throughout the city, and no one knows it because only boys basketball is covered.
Well, I could tell you that specifically myself at Exposure Runs, of course you got Bo with the BBA platform. We will be doing everything that we can to support you ladies. Anytime you invite us out somewhere, we will come happily. We definitely want you to know that Exposure Runs and BBA, the AGM Plus platform, we support the female game. I'm a huge fan of Dawn Staley. She's from my hometown. Just female women's basketball is just it's amazing to watch. I just love watching the game. Anytime I get a chance to sit and watch it, I will. And I've caught a couple of Bree games. I catch a lot of the highlights, of course. So I'm biased in that regard.
Well, I appreciate that, because ever since we met, like if I call y'all or text you, like y'all right there, and I appreciate that. It doesn't always happen for girls basketball that way, so I truly appreciate that.
We definitely will. Before you go, I definitely want you to do two things for me. One, I want you to give your baby girl a shout out as she get ready to embark on that NCAA tournament. I want her to kick some ass out there.
Shout out to Bree, baby, my Bree McDaniel. She be ready. She always on go, and she's the sweetest thing in the world.
By far. On that court.
But she also a dog.
On that
She's
court.
A dog. Absolutely.
On that court. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. And then also, too, to yourself, give yourself a future shout out. Like, obviously you see our platform. You see I always ask the kids to do that. So go ahead and give yourself a future shout out.
You know, that's hard for me.
I know.
It's hard for me. I don't give myself a shout out because, like, it's not about me. It's about the kid.
But sometimes we gotta like pour into us.
That was that trick question I told you.
That was that trick question you told me?
Go ahead, come on. We're not getting off air till we go ahead and give yourself a future shout out.
All right. Shout out to me for my work, for loving the girls, for wanting it for everybody. You know, being a mommy as parents, we always focus on our kids, but all the kids need some love. So
Absolutely, which is
Shout out
why
to
the
me.
platform started. So anyway, I thank you as always. We appreciate your support. And as long as we're doing this, you will always have our support.
I appreciate you guys. I
Thank you.
appreciate you.
Thanks, Mom.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we are still down here at the Future Stars All-Star Classic. Last game just completed. We have the MVP. We're going to have you say your name, your grade, and the school you attend.
Jaivyn Richardson. I'm in 8th grade and I attend Kenwood Academy.
Okay. Kenwood Academy. So does that mean you're just going to filter right into the high school?
No.
No, don't mean that? Okay. All right, cool. No problem there. You just won MVP of the game. Talk a little bit about that game. Talk a little bit about what it means for you to come out and win this MVP.
We came out and we had adversity. They came out, jumped on us 9-1, but we just kept our head in the game. And we just said we had to play defense because we know we had a team full of scorers. So if we play defense, the scoring will come. And it feels good to be MVP because I feel that we all could have got it, but the fact that they said my name, it just feels good.
What does it mean for you to be considered among the best of the 8th graders in this state?
It feels good, but I just remain humble. And I just keep putting the work in. And I believe that if we put the work in, the work will show.
You mentioned that you are not yet, haven't decided yet what high school you're going to attend. Do you have some options?
Winnie Young, Phillips, Carey, and Xamiya.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and put my bid in for Phillips for you. They are the Class 2A champs. I'm just going to go ahead and say that you should probably go to that school and maybe help contribute to the championship pedigree.
Yeah,
That's just my 2 cents.
Whitney Young and Phillips are my top 2 choices.
Okay, Winnie Young and Phillips. So, what, all right, let's do this. What will it come down to?
It comes down to where I feel that they'll help me grow as a basketball player, but not only as a basketball player, but a student athlete. So I need academics too, because I don't want to just be known for basketball. I want to be smart, and I feel that even if basketball don't work out, I still want to be smart enough to go to like a Harvard or something.
Okay, I like how that sounds. I like how that sounds. What are you most looking forward to as it relates to going into high school?
Winning a city championship. That's my main focus. If I win city, I'm going for state.
Okay. Who's your favorite NBA player?
Steph Curry, but I'm out on my game after Darius Garland.
Okay. Talk a little bit about your family. Talk about your mom and the rest of your family, how they support you, how they motivate you.
Well, my mom, she always make it happen. Like regardless what situation we in, we always come out with smiles on our faces. My uncles and aunties, they always keep pushing me to be the best I could be because they believe in me. And my granddad, well, I lost all my grandparents, but when they were here, they were really supportive of me and they believed.
Shout out to your grandparents. May they rest in peace. Before you go, do you know anything about our Exposure Runs platform?
Yeah, I seen it. I think I seen when y'all played at the 167 North Green Street.
Yeah, we got another event coming up. Can you just talk, from what you do know, talk a little bit about the platform, what it means to the high school, and just the Illinois athlete as a whole, including yourself?
Wait, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, absolutely. I was asking you, can you talk a little bit about what you think the Exposure Runs platform means to the high school athlete and, just the up-and-coming high school athlete as well?
I think it means, like, it's somewhere where you can showcase your skill. It's like, because it's like people that go into high school and stuff with big names, and then it's like people that get slept on, like sleepers. So I feel that, like, the sleepers, when they go to your runs, they could, like, make a name for themselves, and then they'll be, like, they could probably get a scholarship off of you guys, and that's mostly what I know.
Okay, I appreciate that. We do got our Unsigned senior event coming up. Lastly, before you go, look into the camera. I know you've probably seen this on some of our podcasts. Give yourself a future message. What you want to tell yourself?
Gotta think.
Take your time.
Be great and win a city championship.
All right, fair enough. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. Okay, guys, last interview of the night. We are down still at Wendell Phillips, home of the Class 2A state champions.
Yeah.
I have with me Charles Tabb, one of the organizers of the Future Stars. Is it the Future Stars All-Star?
Future Superstars.
Future Superstars All-Star event. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Can you tell me a little bit about what your role is in organizing this event?
Oh, my role is pretty much getting the facilities, getting the kids, talking to all your coaches that you built relationships with, and getting them out there and getting the kids, and then you got to get out there and see yourself. Sending out millions of emails, getting phone numbers, talking to the parents. I never talk to kids first. I always talk to parents. It's a lot of work.
Same. And you saw me, even when I wanted to interview some of the kids, I want to talk to their parents before I interview them. I don't want nobody talking to my child before talking to me. So I try to give off that same energy. This is you guys' 9th year of this event.
Yep.
Very successful event.
Appreciate it.
Definitely. The other 8 years, even leading up to this year, can you just talk a little bit about the hard work, the struggle, and even the triumphs?
Well, the struggle has always been real because, again, you're fighting a battle with social media now. When you used to just get a bunch of kids, get them together, do camps, do all things like that, everybody's so territorial over the kids. That's where we always had the concept of talking to parents first. But from the get-go, we started out just like having shootouts, Thanksgiving shootouts or Christmas shootouts. So somebody, I forgot who it was, said, man, you should do an all-star game. We never have our kids in the all-star game. The only thing we had was a CPS all-star game. And shout out to Miss Gators and all of them. They were orchestrating it, but they were getting towards the end of their careers and nobody else picked it up. So we jumped in and we started dealing with just the elementary because everybody forgets about the little kids. Everything is all about high school in Chicago. So with, branding it with the little kids, we also have mentorship programs. So we started out with them, and every time we had a game, before the kids even touched the court, we had mentors come in, talk to the parents about the AAU thing, about street agents and stuff like that. So
street agents.
Yeah, that's what I call it. We talk about that, about all the people that you be careful who you spend your money with. It's things like that. We give it to them 100, like I like to say.
Again, 9th year of the event, 10th year coming up. Now that this event has ended, I'm sure you guys will take a few days to kind of, recuperate, but planning will go into the 10th year.
Yes.
What do you think that will look like, and what should it look like?
Well, this was a good stepping stone, but I feel like each year should be growth. And we sit back, like you said, 2-3 days rest, and then you look at the things we could have did better. So I always take down all the things that we didn't do right or we could did better when we sit up there and meet, listen to, and I'm a big stickler on listening to Shimona and Kiwane because this doesn't work if we don't have them in the vision. She's more of an asset to us than she really knows because she's like me, it's just about passion. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So going to this 10th year, we're looking to have, we would love to have the shoe contracts and things like that. We just got with a good marketer, and she came out to see the vision, so she's on board. So that 10th year anniversary is going to be fun-filled. We're going to have, my goal is to have the families involved a lot more. So it's going to be a lot of things for the families.
Definitely, the families should definitely be more involved. I try to involve the families as well with my events because these, as skillful and as great as these children are from middle school, grade school, all the way up to high school, it don't happen without the families. The sacrifices of taking them to the games, spending the money, just kind of getting them up, holding them accountable. None of this happens without the family. So I know that's really important. What made you, well, you kind of already talked about what made you guys start the event. How do you see the event growing? You talked about having a marketer person now. What other things can you envision that will go into the event to make it better?
Well, one thing I do, I'm getting up in age, and then we have a lot of people that, that's trained, like a lot of my former players, because I'm a former coach that's involved still around basketball. So the ones I know that's serious about it, I bring them into the fold. They already know the vision, so they can start doing what I'm doing.
Right.
So I can just oversee and add different components. So what I definitely want to do is just get more Fortune 500 companies involved. So because I want to take it to another step. I want to do it like, and I want to piggyback off of what McDonald's used to be, because McDonald's has taken the game and they pretty much given it away to prep schools.
Yeah. Oh, well, that too.
You know, so it's not a natural McDonald's game
selection
for
process.
seniors.
Yeah.
It's all kids that are out of high school, you know, prep. You know, so they should have something for prep.
Yeah.
So it's not, you know, so we want to just, you know, do that component.
Okay.
And it's a lot of guys that's doing what we're doing, but we just say that we just do things differently because we do it the right way. Professional is key.
It's very key.
You know what I mean?
It's very key.
Professional is key.
Like you said, a lot of people are doing what you're doing, being professional. A lot of people, you know, do or try to do what we do, and this is no knock on anybody. We just try to find little intricacies of, okay, they don't do that, we could do that, or they do that, let's expand on that and do a little bit better. So no, you know, even with our event coming up on the 30th, no showcase has ever assigned a videographer and a photographer to every player. And so now if and when I see that, I know that they got that from me.
Of course.
And so like that's what we're doing. That's how we are differentiating ourselves from other events. And we'll still support those events.
Yeah.
You guys want us to come, or if the players ask us to come, we'll come and support you guys' events. That's what we do, which segues me into my question is, what made you guys want to bring our platform on board with what you're doing here?
Because I've learning how to get on social media. I actually saw you doing some stuff with Levante. Shout out to Levante.
Shout out to Levante.
Good guy.
Even though I'm into it with Levante.
Yeah. Levante, he means well. He has a big heart.
Me and Monte into it. Me and Monte fake beefing a little.
Yeah, fake beefing.
Yeah, we fake beefing. That's my guy though. But go ahead. Actually, I'm interviewing him tomorrow, as a matter of fact.
Okay, yeah. So,
you said you were saying you saw some stuff I did with him.
Yeah, and just how you carried yourself. You know, I always, I checked on Shimona. You did some with Bree. But I was always your podcast. I would look at all the actually professionals. I came out and saw your event. Without you even opening your mouth, I saw, because it wasn't about you. And that's the thing that I like about this. We don't cash out on this. There's no money. But when you brought those kids like that, because Dan was doing it, you know what I'm saying? You can't. Yours is totally different than how Dan does it, and you had everybody feeling special. You know what I mean? And then you had. It's just. I know people hard. I'm a good judge of character because I don't be around a lot of people. I don't hang in the coaches' cliques and none of that stuff. You know, I know good people when I see it. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't have to like you to know if you got something good going on. So I saw that professionalism is key, and that's what you guys exhibited. So that's a part of what we feel we're about, professionalism, and you brought that today.
I really appreciate that, man. Like that event that you came out to, I do remember you being there. It's always been about the kids. I started this platform, as most people know, for my son. I had just wanted to get him some extra exposure. Instead of complaining about what he wasn't getting, I found a solution to a problem, and then I found a solution to other people's problems.
Right.
And it was like, okay, see a need, fill a need.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did, and it's just been kind of growing from there. I appreciate you guys having us out. It really means a lot to us. You know, our platform is, it's for the high school athlete, for the coaches, for the culture, and that's what we're here for. So thank you for having us. I'm looking forward to coming back. I hope you guys have us back.
Most definitely. That's without a doubt.
No, I appreciate it. Lastly, before you go, I ask all of the players, anybody that comes on the podcast, they must give themselves a future message. So I'd like you to look right into that camera and give Charles Tabb a future message.
About myself?
About yourself.
Continue to stay humble, be respectful, and show love to everyone, even though some people don't deserve it. But most of all, be humble.
Appreciate you having me, sir. Thank you very much, man. Thank you.
Appreciate you.